Yeah, I'm 46.
So I read that you spent more than half of those 46 years either in juvie or in prison.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What happened?
So what happened is, grew up, great family. Rest in peace to my brother Steve, my mom, Jackie, extraordinary woman. You know, that's where I got a lot of my crazy stuff from. My grandmom, loving, strong woman, the strongest person I know. My brother Jalal. I grew up, my pop, Wallace Roundtree, my step pop, Hip. I had some great people around me growing up. Great family, different sides. My grandma Aura, rest in peace. Grew up in the streets of Philadelphia, inner cities of America. I wanted to be down. And because when I grew up and where I grew up at in the ghetto, the only person that got the most attention was the person that was still in the American dream, the drug dealer or the criminal. Because he had the fancy cars, he had the jewelry. He dealt with the most beautifulest woman in the neighborhood. So it's like the movie. So as me sitting on the step as a kid, when I see the car pull up, the nice music blasting out, the Mercedes-Benz, the jewelry, and I'm like, I'm sitting there, Mel, and I'm like, hold up. You mean to tell me? I noticed Miss Johnson, Miss Brown, and Miss Green, the older ladies, they spoke to that guy getting out of the Benz. They ain't speak to Mr. Carl walking down the street that's a plumber. I said, I got to go out there and steal the American dream. That's the only people, like, America only respect the successful criminals. They love them. That's why so many movies made about them. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, I got to be down. I was smart enough to know right from wrong.
Wow.
My grandma, she taught me a lot. But I got into the crime life because I wanted things that I wasn't willing to work for because I'm a kid.
I gotta say, when I was a kid, and I remember in school, I wasn't the best kid, but I wasn't a horrible kid. But what I realized is the teachers used to always give extra attention to that kid that was like really bad. And then now, you know, he boosted his grades. So like they would always big up that kid, like the kid that came from being bad to good. And I'm like, this is like that's what it takes to get these teachers' attention. That's what it takes to get some type of glory in school. You know, I'm a kid at the time, so I'm like, dang, you know, I would love to be big up for the things that I'm doing as good. But it's like the only people they would ever pay attention to was always the kid that was bad, and now they're good. And to a kid's mind, it's like, okay, maybe that's what I have to do to get some attention around here.
June 30 of 1990.
And that's wrong.
I get arrested for armed robbery, Philadelphia.
So I said that because that is why I think we need to champion the wins. We don't need to only champion the redemption stories, because people think, oh, I have to, you know, do something dumb and then come up from that in order to be validated in some type of way. No, we need to champion our kids' wins. Even if they always get wins, even if you're used to them getting those great grades, now we need to continuously champion that.
And I'll never forget when Nanny came in. Shout out to Nanny. She's 91 now. She's like 91, but she moved around like she 31. She sent my Uncle Tommy to come get me. The next week I got locked up again for armed robbery. I kept getting locked up, so I wound up spending 5 years in juvenile. June 30 of 1990, I was 11 for like 7 days. Something like that. I wound up, kept going back. They sentenced me that year to a year, and I wound up spending 5 years in juvenile.
Okay.
In and out. So by the time I turned 17, I got locked up for 2 armed robberies, 2 firearm violations. Got sentenced to a total of 19 and a half to 52 years in prison. They certified me as an adult. They said, no, you're not a kid no more. You're good with crime. You know how to do crime.
How mad were your grandmothers and your mom at you? Because you just kept getting in trouble.
They was mad at me.
Because I can tell, I can just feel their energy right now. They were just like, come on.
They was mad. And my grandma used to always say, you're going to get it. You're going to realize one day. Because you know what's crazy? Your grandma older, you saying to yourself, she don't know what's going on out here, but she do.
Of course she does.
She always tell me, you don't understand, baby, why you the only one that always go to jail. You always go to jail. And I remember one of my homeboys, his mom was saying, y'all can't do wrong. Y'all need to start doing right. It didn't hit me till later on in life when I was sitting in prison doing time. And
what does that mean?
What you mean?
What you're all doing wrong. You got to start doing right.
Basically, y'all don't know how to be criminals.
Oh, because you keep getting arrested.
Yeah, y'all can't do wrong. I mean, y'all can't do wrong right. You might as well do right. Basically. So it was like, y'all can't even do wrong. Y'all don't even know how to do wrong. You know what I mean? So it was like, y'all really not good criminals. You always get caught. Most criminals do. So we really not that good. So it was like, you know, and you don't think about that. But being you wasn't cool. See, what's the name had a song out back in the day, but we heard it, we might have danced to it, but it wasn't that cool. It was a nice song. You probably hear it on the TV. You probably.
The crazy part about it is a lot of criminals don't even see it that way. Like, damn, maybe I'm bad at being a criminal. They don't even see it that way. They see it as, okay, I'm gonna live a life of crime, and then when I wind up in prison, this is dang near the goal. Like this, you know, this is the place to be. You know what I mean? This is gonna add on to my record of as a criminal, you know? This looks great on my resume in the streets. But it's not until they actually go to prison and they're faced with some real time, or the judge hits that gavel and says, look, man, you ain't gonna see the light of day for the next 30 years, that they cry in their mom's arms and say, I'm so sorry. Which is why I make these videos, because I want y'all fellas that are on and in this free world, and even if you're watching me from prison, from your, you know, your Android, you know what I mean? I want you guys to know that there can be a great awakening before that life hits you. That life in prison, that you can't come back, that goodbye to your kids moment. Because I've never watched a video in prison and said, man, I'll tell anybody to come here. This is the place to be. But the crazy part about it is when they're outside, you're telling everybody, yo, that's the place to be. Most people in prison are saying, yo, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. But then when you're free on the streets, you're teaching the next kid, man, you know, I did it. Sometimes you just got to do the time. That's the catch-22 that makes no sense to me about this whole street life stuff. Makes absolutely no sense to me. The people on the Mount Rushmore of the prisons will tell you you don't want to be here. But everybody will inspire you to be just like those people.
Here on the radio, Huey Newton in the news had a song, it's hip to be square. But you don't think about that. You're not thinking about that. It's being outweighed by all the other music that you're hearing. When Revenge of the Nerds come out, you don't even understand about today. You don't know technology gonna come. So everything was based on being cool,
right,
dangerous. Mel, let's be honest, Mel. You was in school. Y'all didn't want the nerds. Y'all wanted the cool guys.
Of course.
Y'all wanted the jocks. Y'all wanted the guy to come with his collar. Y'all wanted the fines. You didn't want that. Nobody want that. Nobody want the good guy. Everybody loved the bad guy. They love Scarface. They love Al Pacino. You gotta think about that. America loved the successful criminal. They love the bad guy. So think about it. When you talk about institutions, when you talk about juvenile facilities, prisons is a business. And I need to ask you out there, to everybody to understand about businesses, what business do you know that don't want their customers to come back? What businesses do you know that don't want reoccurring customers? So if I change it up, you're never going to be my customer no more. So how do I make money? So now the counselors is out. The psychs that work at the place is out. Probation officers is out. Just imagine if we fix this system and everything is fixed. No parole officers, no probation officers. We don't need a court clerks. We don't need stenographers in the court. We don't need a lot of judges. We don't need a district attorney. We don't need a lot of these people. So I didn't understand that until later on. So then when I get sentenced and it's time for me to go to prison, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. I get sentenced. I get up to the big house. There's a big wall. It's called Greatersville Prison. They open that gate. The gate closed behind us. I'm shackled up. I got shackles running from a belt around my waist. The shackles right here. I'm cuffed and it's going to my feet, to my chains on my feet. The main thing that I'm thinking about when I go to prison, I'm looking at the TV and you just see all this stuff, but you never think it's going to be you. Nobody think it's going to be their turn to go to prison when they're part of the life of crime. Everybody think they smarter than the system. So it was just crazy for me. They give us our box, we get our stuff, we had to walk up and we had to go through the general population where the big yard was at to get to the hole in death row and where they had you locked in because we was juveniles. As we walked through that hallway, I seen some of the biggest muscular human beings I ever seen in my life. I couldn't believe it. They coming out the yard, they shirts off. I'm like, please don't put me in a cell with him. I don't know this. I'm just like, please. But they wound up taking the cell hole, and the other younger guy that was with me, I never forget, as I covered my head with the pillow in that cell, because we shared the cell because we was both minors, I heard him cry as I was crying that night and wishing I was home and wishing I had another chance. And it just was different. But that started my road and my journey being in prison. And it got realer after that. It continued to get real. But what happened was, I was in the cell, it was hot. Summertime, no air conditioning, none of that. And I got up to splash my face, but when I got up to splash my face, it was like the devil was dancing in the cell because it was so hot in there. Walls were sweating. And I just looked in the mirror and I said, damn, you in here doing all this time for being somebody you not. The power of wanting to be down with a bunch of people that really don't care about you can destroy your life.
Only if
it can mess your life up, even if it's not about crime. It could be about, I just want to be down with these people in college because they supposed to be the in crowd, or I just want to be down with these people because they do business, or I just want to be down. It could mess you up because what it do is it remove you from you. And now you got to be somebody else to be accepted by some other human beings that breathe like you, got 24 hours like you, that drink the same water you drink.
Real quick, I want to give a special shout out to my subscriber. His Instagram is Fathrito. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to put it on the screen. But basically, I've been telling y'all how to make money playing games on your phone. And the brother sent me some screenshots. He made $104 in earnings the other day. It looks like he right now is currently at $191. Listen, I already told you about Mandy Slim Goody T. I believe that's her Instagram. I'm going to put her information on the screen as well, the DMs that she sent me. I told y'all people are really making money playing games on their phone. All right? People are even leaving comments and saying, I thought this was a scam. It's not a scam, y'all. Try it out for yourself. Click the link in the description below or the link in the comment section. All right? These apps, they're literally paying people just to play games on your phone. It's extremely simple. Some of the options is even just reviewing a Netflix show, things of that nature. But just sign up, see what's available, constantly go back and just check it out, because you can easily make an extra $100 just doing this, or $200, depending on how much money you want to make. But y'all, try it out for yourself. These are real life people getting real life results. And if you catch yourself making money, send me your screenshots on Instagram and I'll give you a shout out next. All right, let's get back to the video. You know the craziest thing about the in crowd? Let's start from high school, right? Because this is when people start to get into themselves. The in crowd in high school are the people that's not really into their books for real. At least not in my school. It was the people that was smoking weed, going to parties. You know, they got videos of them fighting in the bathroom. They done joined the gang. They talk back, make jokes, you know, in class. Teachers have problems with them. They skip in class, stuff like that. They always in the gym. You know, that was the in crowd. This is the funniest thing about the in crowd. Watch how this shit does not transcend. After 18, once everybody hits 18, the people that weren't in the in crowd usually make it to college, right? They make it to college where now that's the new in crowd. The people that's going to the college parties, the people that's having fun. The people that was in high school that was part of the in crowd and wanted to be so cool, they into all the BS. All the girls like it, so they doing it. This is what's going to make them cool. They don't make it to the next in crowd. They don't make it to college. They don't make it to the next level of fun. They get left behind. So now you talk to these people and they still stuck in what they used to do in high school.
I'm living in my car currently.
So car
My
life
bad.
is trending,
That
which
scared
is
me.
perfect timing because
As if that wasn't during our adolescence time. Why is your best days behind you? Now let's go to college. You get to college, know what I mean? And again, there's an in crowd there. The in crowd, the people that's the party promoters, all they doing is going to parties. They drinking all the time. They're only worried about the girls. You know, they're just maneuvering through the fun. to the point where, okay, y'all are missing the purpose of why we're here. We're here to get our education so we can leave. So watch this. While they're having fun, there's people that's actually focusing and doing their schoolwork. Some people are focusing doing their schoolwork and still having fun. I was one of them. You know what I mean? Well, kind of. I wasn't the best at my schoolwork. I ain't gonna lie to you. But some people, they're actually focused on their schoolwork. Then you have those that are just focused on being cool, being that in-crowd guy, right? So now, 4 years go by, people that was focusing on their book wasn't really deep in the in-crowd. They graduate. They get good jobs, hopefully. They get good jobs. And now they get a nice house, get a nice car, all that. Then the dudes that all they was doing was smoking weed the whole time. They wasn't really focused on any books, just trying to party, just trying to be cool. You know, the girls loved them because maybe they, you know, their life was interesting. They didn't get no degree. They don't have no good job. They don't have nothing good on their resume. Their hair done grew out all crazy because they don't have no money for no haircuts. I see these guys all the time. So now, those girls that you wanted to impress so bad, they done tricked you out of your blessing because now they done surpassed you. Those dudes that was still focusing on their schoolwork, they done surpassed you. So you being stuck in the in crowd will do just that. You'll be stuck in that crowd, in that stage. The high schoolers got stuck in high school. The college freshman promoter got stuck as a college freshman promoter. When all of these things are supposed to be stages in life that's supposed to get you to the next stage, and then that stage gets you to the next stage and hopefully prepares you for actual life, where the real cool shit happens. So basically what I'm getting at is the nerds, the people that you're always in your books. At the end of the day, them IT dudes is winning. Them tech guys is winning. Living at their laptop, traveling the world, living in high rises, living nice. You talk to these dudes and you like, dang, bro, you done came up. Yeah, because he's always been focused on what he should be focused on. Now he's living the real cool crowd, which is life. The people that's winning at life, not just winning as a freshman in college, not just winning in high school. Being in these in crowds can literally steal your life. You know what I mean?
You shitting me. So once I realized that, it was crazy.
I want to go back to that moment where you're looking in the mirror and you're reflecting on the fact that you're doing all this time in prison for being someone you're not. And I'd love to have you talk to the person that's having this epiphany as they're listening to you. And they're thinking, well, I am where I am because I've been being someone I'm not.
You, I'm talking to you. You right there, you. You ain't tired yet. You out there being somebody that you're not. And guess what? You just keep losing. You don't feel right. You know you're not where you want to be because you don't feel right. But you choose to take this path because you wanted to be accepted by a bunch of people that don't even accept themselves. Because if they accepted themselves, they won't put pressure on you to be with them. Why do they need you to be around? Why do they need you to change who you are?
Y'all not hearing me, man. Listen, growing up, I was not the kid that I was into all of the groups. Like, I was not always a part of all of the groups. When I was maybe in middle school, elementary school, okay, cool. But even then, like, I was not always the kid that was super accepted in the group because there were things I wasn't willing to do. I'm just like, yo, it's just not worth it. Like, why are we doing that? Know what I mean? And people would disagree with me. I would get called corny sometimes. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't no corny dude, you know what I mean? But I would get called corny because there's certain things I'm not willing to do. I'm good on that. Know what I mean? Like, if it wasn't girls or something like that, I'm Gucci. Like, I don't have to be out here risking my freedom, stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the same way those dudes will look at me and at that time and be like, man, you so corny for that, or you not into that. I've surpassed damn near all of those people. Those people now hit me up and be like, yo, bro, I'm so proud of you, bro. I've only gotten here because I stopped effing with you. I did not get tied into your bullshit. While you're sitting here trying to fix your life, I would have been sitting right there with you. I would have been sitting right there with you, right next to you, trying to figure out the same thing you're trying to figure out at our age. But because I did not follow that path and my skin was it was strong, God also gave me a daughter very early. I couldn't play with my life how a lot of people was able to. I've surpassed a lot of people, so now they ask me for advice. That's the catch-22. You will really catch yourself like, maybe I am being lame. Maybe I should just do this. Even though you know it is not you to do that. But you will convince yourself, come on, man, let me just. But your purpose is bigger than this person's purpose. I mean, they may not know that. I'll say your vision may be bigger than this person's vision. I ain't even gonna say purpose because you don't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. But your vision might be bigger than theirs. LeBron James does not become LeBron James if he's following his friends. Steph Curry does not become Steph Curry if he's following his friends. Malcolm X does not become Malcolm X if he's following MLK, anybody that you can name that we look up to, and they're like they stood out amongst the people. They were not like the others. So you have to be comfortable with not being like the others, which means when the group does not agree with you, that does not always mean you're wrong. Because in a lot of rooms you'll walk into, it'll be monkey see, monkey do. You ever, I experience this in the military all the time. You ever seen people like a long ass line going through one door, and then you just that one person, you're like, all right, let me try this other door, and you go through the other door, and that door is unlocked, and then now people are following behind you? That's a moment that I want you to think, why the hell were they all going through the last door? Because it's easier for me to just fit in with everybody else. It's easier for me to just, follow the last person than to think for myself. So now you're waiting in a long line. And all you had to do was be like, you know what? Let me go my own direction. See, at least if the door's unlocked, and boom, you get in there faster than everybody else. More effectively than everybody else. That's how I want you guys to see life.
Think about it. But think about this journey you going.
You will be in rooms where people make you feel like you're bugging. You just got to know eventually they will open their eyes and realize, no, they were bugging. And it might be 5 people that you like, nah, I'm good. I'm telling y'all because my life is a testament to that. My life is a testament of just being like, nah, I'm good. Like, nah, I'm not going to do it. Don't get me wrong. There was things that I've done that is stupid, but there were certain things that, nah, I'm good. And now those same people hit me up for advice. So to my young dudes, please be comfortable with just being who you are. Know what I mean? Because a lot of people out here faking the funk, trying to be what they hear in the music, and they not even that for real.
And say to yourself, hold up, this might not be for me. This might not be my ideas. This might not really be what I want to do. But the crowd is telling me I should do this. The crowd is telling me this is what's cool. The crowd is telling me this is what's accepted. When you gonna say fuck the crowd and start accepting you?
And I'm gonna leave this video right there. I gotta take my daughter to her. She got a cheerleading game or whatever. I don't know if I have an update job, but she ain't make the basketball team. In fact, they only put one girl on the basketball team because apparently the basketball team is intertwined. Crazy, but so they had to put her on the cheerleading team. Yeah, I know. I'd much rather her play basketball. But yeah, man, I just want to give y'all this real quick. Hope y'all enjoy y'all day and all that good stuff, man. But to my young people, it will save you so much headache if you stop trying to follow people. At the end of the day, me as a married man, me as a father, me as a businessman, me as a real estate owner, me as a retired vet, a lot of the groups that I grew up with did not do, are not and did not do any of those things. I literally had to part ways from those groups. Therefore, even in those earlier years, do not tie yourself to your best friend. Do not tie yourself to the sandbox group, my day ones. That doesn't mean be disloyal, but I see you when I see you. I have to obtain what I have to obtain. Wallow even said it in this interview. There's no bunk beds in a casket. There's no bunk beds in a casket. So go your own direction. Hey, man, it's been your boy, Ty Boogie. But like I say in all my videos, man, if you want to make some extra money just playing games on your phone, all you got to do is click the link in the description below and the link in the comment section below. All right, yo, these apps that literally paying people just to play games on their phone. It's crazy every time I think about it, all right? So check it out, see if it's for you. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you catch yourself making money, make your money. Until next time, y'all, it's been your boy, Ty Boogie. I'm out of here, man. Peace.